once again, all friends and advocates of hemp engineering around the world. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Derek Cross. I might say that he was one of the first person that I met when I decided to join this business or this journey. I cannot deny that you have been a light, Mr. Derek, in many ways, directly and indirectly. Your work talks by yourself, your dedication, your effort. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Ramon. It's very honoring to be here. And yes, we've come a long way. And thank you. Yeah. It's been a number of years. I would have to go and say, is it about 7? Maybe?
Since 2016.
Has it been okay? So you're good. 6, 7 years. We're close. That's been great. And what an honor to see how you've been evolving in the space and what things are happening and how this industry is just kind of flourishing. You know, the seeds have been planted and now they're flourishing.
Agree. So Derek, tell our audience, how did you end up in the hemp business? What was your motivation? What triggered you to come here?
Well, it's been a little while. So about 14 years ago, I was looking. Well, I made a career change, and then being at home, I sold my electrical contracting company and moved to Texas. And then being home, moving from the north in Wisconsin down to Texas where I live, you know, I've always had like eczema, dry skin. I was always looking for a non-pharmaceutical means to heal my dry skin, my eczema, and I've learned a lot about. Page 9, I came across hemp seed oil, not to be confused with CBD oil, but cold pressed hemp seed oil. Instead of putting pharmaceuticals, cortisone creams that were actually not doing any service to me, I started using hemp on me, and I started noticing the hair growing back and my skin improving, and I was just like awestruck. Um, I was like in awe due to the fact that it was working. So I wanted to find out what more hemp could do. I knew about hemp years back ago and cannabis, and we can go on to that later in the conversation. But that's kind of what drew me to the industry. I started with hemp seed oil, hemp seed, hemp protein powders, started learning about the nutritional benefits and the effects, the omegas, the essential fatty acids, the proteins, the fiber, the additional vitamins that you can get in this in these natural products. I mean, we can feed it to all mammals. Should be eating this. It's a great alternative to for omegas. You don't need to even eat fish. You can eat this and not worry about any mercury. So, as a full-on protein source, it's an amazing plant, and I always wanted to keep learning more, and that's what I've done for the past 14 years.
Wow.
And the products that can be made out of it.
But I guess during that time has led you to understand the significance of the prohibition on the plant, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Have you have any experience on that regard?
Yeah. So being here in the United States, prohibition it's been real. It was shut down. You know, what we know in history, it was put out due to its competitiveness in taking place of trees, taking place of cotton, taking place of um, basically wood. You know, so there was
Plastic.
a lot of industry and pharmaceuticals,
Yes.
and there was a lot of industry and fuel, right? Food,
Exactly.
fuel, fiber, pharmacy, whatever. It does a lot of the work of these other industries. But going back to your question about, um, yeah, I've been aware of it here in the United States. When I was a kid, I'm 50 now, but I used to go pull weeds out of the bean fields, soybean fields, and I would detail some corn up in Minnesota. And Minnesota, Wisconsin were actually growing hemp years and years ago. Well, as a kid, I knew what cannabis was. I'm out in the field and I see these big tall plants off in the side of the field, you know. I go over there, hey friend, and I started pulling these leaves off, putting them in my pockets, right? I pulled a big plant out and I put it in my lunchbox. brought it home to mom. Hey, mom, look what I found, you know? So that's prohibition. I didn't know that it wasn't medical cannabis. It was
So
industrial
plant.
hemp that had grown there for generations in Minnesota. It
Wow.
was the plant that was being grown for the fiber industry for ropes and, back in
Yes,
the day.
yes, yes, yes,
Call it the war for the war effort,
yes, yes.
So that's prohibition. And now fast forward to where we are when Ryan Laughlin planted the seed in Colorado in 2012, 2013. Look at where we are. The industry's flourishing. We've been out educating all around the world. I mean, look at what you've been doing on your side of the world and globally. Minds are opened up. I don't think prohibition it's never coming back here for this plant. I can promise you that.
Agree,
We've
agree.
sown so many seeds. Once you plant the seed in the mind, you can plant the seed in the soil.
And you are so right, because this is one of the things that I most love about the Americans. Americans created the prohibition, but now they're putting it down, and there
Yeah.
is no coming back. You guys are the light of this revolution, and I must confess that I'm very grateful to be part of you guys.
Well, it's a great privilege to learn how this plant does around the globe. You're in Australia, we're in the United States. You're going into your winter, we're going into our summer. you know
Yes,
so that helps tip the scales for open trade, and then supply and demand issues. We can complete the supply chain and fill in as needed. We don't
yes,
want to necessarily export, but for hemp being on an island, like New Zealand and Australia and Japan, anywhere where there's an island, this is a plant for sustainability,
yeah,
right?
exactly right.
And that's where I'll never stop teaching and educating. And the old homage, if you teach a man to fish,
Taking it
right?
every day.
Right? There you go. So he'll eat forever. And so when you teach a man how to grow hemp, he'll eat forever. You know.
Exactly right.
So
Exactly
so
right.
that's basically the same thing. And it's changing the mindset. And that's what CBD and cannabis has done as a whole, is once you ingest it, and when you look at, if you're compassionate and you have any just a smidgen of compassion in your heart, and you see a child or an adult, a human that is suffering from seizures, and you take a little drop of oil, I'll tear up every time I say this, but when you stop their convulsing, and it's effective, 70 to 80%, and the numbers drop, the pain and suffering from that human to the other humans that support it, you change minds in a big way. Now you have the ability to go, what more does this plant do? Just like when I saw it on my skin, what more does this plant do? And when we're talking about carbon sequestration, health and healing, it's a win.
Win-win for everybody. I agree with
Yeah.
you.
So
Derek,
as far as prohibition, it's not coming back.
it's praiseful because that will help a lot of people on Earth. Yes.
Yes.
That will bring us to the third questions, because I know your passion about the plan. All everybody's, I'm sure this audience will enjoy the way that you transmit your energy. Tell us about your projects, what you are doing beyond the medicine, because I know that you're you're a warrior, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. You are too. And so what I've been doing, a lot of my colleagues, is all about the education first and foremost, as we're doing on this stage right here, is we're getting the word out. It's always education. My mission is planting seeds of wellness for the people, the pets, and the planet. So go ahead and plant it, right? So that's what you hear when you get my voicemail. I'm out on a mission, planting seeds of wellness. So your question and what I've been doing, I'm continuing to keep planting, keep educating. It's really that simple. Then we in the space have just influenced fresh minds. And when you have a plant that keeps on giving, one of the leaves there's many. Cannabis grows in odd numbers of leaf, but one of those is inspiration. The other one's innovations. So when you're inspired, you have the creativity, the mental awareness to say, okay, what can't hemp do? Ah, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can make hempcrete walls. Wow. Maybe we can make hemp insulation. What? Are you kidding? Can we make hemp plywood? Yes, we can. What else can we? Oh, can we make plastics out of it? Oh, okay. So let me go back. What we've been doing is educating farmers, working with farmers, helping everybody find their why, because some people have different avenues that they want to grow. When you start opening the minds of people, it's just like you unleash Pandora's box. It just opens up and your mind is like, so I first want people to find their why.
Yes.
What do you want to create? And what path do you want to go down? Make it simple. In business, if you want to be successful, you work on a very focused plan that doesn't have multiple branches, because when the mind is going, I want to do this, I want to do this, reel it in, reel it in, get here. So these products here are a prime example. These are HempSense products, my partner up in Canada. They created these products. These are patented products. We have cat litter, animal bedding, soil enricher. And then we work with, the hulled hemp seed. And we have equine supplements. We have equestrian animal bedding. We have supplements for your loved ones, your pets. Okay. So we're working on these projects, expanding the industry, empowering the industry, and working with the community, and then replicating the model. A lot goes into this, and everybody wants to jump into it before they know. So we bring a lot of years of experience, number one, and a lot of knowledge behind that, And this plant is not the easiest to wrestle out in the fields. And there's, it's a new learning. It's hard on equipment. And all I can tell you is the years my partners put into these products. We have a full on facility that's like 30,000+ square foot game on manufacturing facility. We are opening more accounts in Canada. I'm lucky and thankful to be opening up the market here in the United States. We're working on larger retailers. So, for example, actually, a Walmart just in Canada just signed on our products. We're working to get these into like Tractor Supply here in the United States and other, pet stores in like PetSmart, etc. So we're knocking on those doors. We're getting some great feedback, and now people are really hip to hemp, and it's really sexy. They want to be in, and these are sustainable products. So that's some of the things and some of the work that we're doing. Once again, empowering the industry, but we have to remember it's a global commodity.
Yes, it is.
Hands down. So if you're going to be in business, you have to play within the rules that are set, as a global commodity, and you have to be able to scale up, and we've been successful doing that with HempSense products. And, it's a model that we feel that we can replicate and, as needed where we can, and just take that capital and keep reinvesting into the communities, helping those communities thrive. That's our goal. It's rewarding when you have a facility that is going to be there for a long time, for the next 100 years. I want to see it here 500 years, if that could ever be a thing, and I believe with plants, we have those abilities.
That brings us to the understanding, as you have been mentioned a couple of times, about self-sustainability, which is, personally speaking, I'm a true believer on this. I believe that hemp can empower and allow us to envision a circular economy or or I would say a self-sustainability era that can basically overcome the problems that we're facing on regards of everything,
Yeah.
environment. What do you think of this?
I think you're gonna think how simple this can be after I say it. When we evolved as humans and mankind, you for your answer, you take the hands back to time, because that's what happens. Everything always somehow comes back, right? Trends, clothing trends. Oh, we're building houses like we used to build houses, monolithic. We're doing things the way we used to do it. So your history repeats itself. So here's the answer. When people go out to raise money, what do they ask for? A seed round, seed money. We were traders, and we traded with seed. Seed is money. When you plant that seed, you reap that harvest. So if there was no money, what would we resort to? I don't know about you, but you're going to plant seeds to get the fruits that you want to eat.
Yes.
And then you're going to trade with your neighbor. You're going to do those types of things. That's not where we live now, but history does repeat itself. And here's the beautiful thing about the hemp plant is here's products that you can barter and trade with. The other beautiful thing is hemp was made for making paper money. Back in the day, the $10 bill, there was a field. Some say it was hemp, but it was farming, showing potentially hemp. And then there was industry. I said this a long time ago. The thing that was missing was the bridge to put the two together. And that's what hemp is doing.
Yes.
So it's going to be very powerful in the circular economy. It's going to get infused in building homes, what you're doing. It's going to get put into the products. The more sustainable, the more circular.
Yes.
Keep planting the seeds of wellness for the people, pets, and planet. It'll come back.
Derek, would you like to add something else to your empowering speech?
Well, all I have to say is, yeah, I guess, the other things that are near and dear to our heart, and one of our other companies and projects, if I can, you're in on it too, is, our technology and what else can we do?
Yes.
And for the past 6 years, I've been working on the energy storage, right? Utilizing hemp. As a retired electrician, I wired homes and always built the infrastructure, the transfer switches for backup generators. Now it's a vision of mine and my team we have the same vision. We think along the same lines, coming from the construction background. We want to implement these into our homes
Yes.
the way we can. And so when you're talking about circular economy, when you reap the rewards of getting solar and putting it in a natural form in energy storage, whether it be battery or supercapacitor, these are the ways of the future. And by golly, I want to leave this planet a lot cleaner than what we're doing, because the humans are messing this up currently. But guess what? No disrespect to my elders, but sometimes the elder vision has to go and make way for us newer visionaries.
Yes.
And I believe in my heart that's what we're seeing. You can't force it. You can't force it. It's still taking time. But we've seen an evolution here in the United States over the past 8 years that I'm thankful that Ryan put the seed in the soil. And here we are. Hemp is booming and blooming. And we got a lot of energy to store.
And pioneers like you that have the self-conviction and that energy and the sacrifice that many like us have been doing for the last years, and many others before us that have taken this lead. We just need to be grateful that this seed is still alive, and this seed is the hope for humanity.
Yeah.
And Derek I cannot express my gratitude listening to you, your words, and I can only wish you success, and I'm very sure that we will soon cross our life in doing great things with our countries and the rest of humanity by feeding a lot of people, making sure that people have, it's growing the future. We just need, like you said, put the seed and we can grow the future.
It's a tremendous thing. I mean, when we look around the globe right now, and we look at some of the leaders in the space, we look back to mentors and leaders like Ben Dronkers in the Netherlands at Hemp Flax. We look at boy, oh boy, there's others. Paul Bevan down by you in Australia. Where else are we? We got the hemp farm down in New Zealand with Dave. He's doing some great things. We have Hemp Sense up in Canada. These are big manufacturers. These are big people doing big things, and we wouldn't be here without these leaders in the space. Myself, I just feel like I'm one of the cogs keeping things greased and moving, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And if I may, I'd like to have people check out our website, hempsenseusa.com, and check out some of our products. We have 12 out there, and if you need to learn more and want to get a hold of me, my email is dcross@hempsenseusa.com. Let me know if I can help you, and be a connector like Ramon is, and let's just keep planting seeds of wellness, right? And I thank you for having me, and I hope that's good for your audience, and thank you people for listening, and keep supporting hemp and keep your minds open.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.